Oh, wait till you see the videos, folks. Wait till you see the videos. You may have seen them already, but we're going to break it down piece by piece, word by word, frame by frame. The body camera video that shows these two, JennSoto, Stephen Stearns, after the Orange County Sheriff's Department, the deputies respond to their call for a missing child. That missing child, MaddieS0t0. We know what happened to Madeline. We know where she was found. About 20 miles from home, discarded in St. Cloud, Florida. She lived in Kissimmee. And wow. So the Orange County Sheriff's Office, who were not the lead investigators in this, but they started the investigation because they responded to the initial call. Then the case has eventually been turned over to the Kissimmee Police Department, and obviously is now in the hands of the state attorney as well. But this is from Orange County, and these videos, I got two of them. Actually, I have three of them. I think that are very, very relevant. We'll see what we get through. But the first one is the first initial response that you'll see from officers as they show up. So we're going to go through this piece by piece. Make sure you follow on Facebook. Share it on Facebook, hit the like button on YouTube. And if you're not subscribing, please subscribe. We're trying to grow the channel so we can continue to bring all this stuff to you. So thank you so much. We've got our mods in place. Melly, Gen X, Frankie Figs getting it done. Ran into some folks at CrimeCon. Great to see everyone, including Gen X was there. Danielle was there. A bunch of folks were there. So it's great to see everyone at CrimeCon that went to Nashville. I am back now. We'll be covering this on my show tonight. We'll be doing some body language analysis of what you're about to see with the pros. And we'll bring in our investigator as well tonight. So, and local journalists and see what else is happening right now in this case down in Florida. So let me start to roll the video, and then we'll play start and stop. And it begins inside the cruiser. They're responding right now. I think they're pulling up to Jen's mother's place where she works.
5 or 6 kids at the park. Right. Give me a second, bro.
Make sure you hit the like.
Go ahead.
Let me finish up with this and I'll give you a call.
All right, so right now they're responding. They get information over the radio, so they have an idea of what the call is about.
I'm currently working possible Signal Lake. Can I hold off on that?
All right, so they're pulling up. So
26.
Interesting. You want to pay attention to everything now, not just what she says, how she's acting, the demeanor, the body language between Stephen Stearns and JennSoto. So here the officer is walking in.
Thank you so much.
Of course. Do they speak English?
Yes.
Okay.
This is Mom.
This is Mom? Okay. Hi there.
Hey there.
Hey there. What's going on?
So my daughter was dropped off close to school this morning, but never made it. I went to pick her up from school.
I'm sorry, one second.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
First, let's look here, right? Big tough guy with his do-rag and his arms crossed. What's going on here, right? Like he knows what's on his phone. He's right at this point. He knows what's on his phone, right? And he has the audacity to stand there. But that closure of his body, that position, kind of closing himself off from police as they respond. But he knows he's just gonna have to talk.
Sir.
Are we looking for another kid, or we have a kid?
Looking for another one.
Alright, so people are still on the scene. Let's put that out in the hospital location. How long?
13.
I'm trying to get there right now.
That rocking back and forth. We've seen a lot of that now from her. We saw it in her TV interviews as well. This kind of going back and forth. And is that nervousness? Is that, how she sort of soothes her stress in a situation? I don't know. But again, this is now a pattern because we're seeing her in a different setting. This is different than sitting down with a TV station. Now you're talking to law enforcement for the very first time, person in person.
Okay. So she was supposed to be dropped off at school, didn't make it to school.
Didn't make it to school. I went to pick her up from school today,
Okay.
and she never came out. They announced it over the speaker, and I'm just like, maybe she walked here, because sometimes she'll walk here to this office.
Mhm.
I came here, nothing. I went back to the school, they were closed. I got a notice, an email from the school saying she was absent, but I also messaged her teacher, and he looked at her entire attendance today and saw that she was completely not at school today either.
Okay.
So she never made it.
Okay. What's her name?
Madeline, Madeline.
Madeline.
What do you think of the calmness? Not hysterical, right? Now, it's been some hours, right, at this point, because it looks like the body cam is after midnight at this point. I don't know if the body camera is calibrated to the correct time of day or not, but looking at it, and I'll put it up a little bit bigger for you here. It looks like 00:36 on 2/27. So that would be, 12:36. So it's in the AM at this point. Let's continue.
Last name?
Soto, S-O-T-O.
S-O-T-O?
Yeah.
Date of birth?
February 22nd, 2011.
February 27th, 2000?
22nd,
Oh, sorry. 22nd,
2011.
2011.
Just had her 13th birthday.
13.
Charlie 405. What's the name of the signal aid?
MaddieS0t0 age.
Now, I think in the background in all black, I think that's the grandmother. And the one in purple is probably the aunt or the sister, Jen's sister, Madeline's aunt.
13. I'm trying to get a clothing description now. What was she last seen wearing?
26 County, Charlie 405. People hit my call, 931 is the same call.
Green hoodie,
Green hoodie,
white Crocs,
white Crocs,
either blue or black pants.
I think black shorts.
Black shorts.
Yeah.
black shorts. Okay.
Okay, let's start there with what she's wearing. JennSoto has chimed in now on what her child was wearing, black shorts. Whether it's true or false, it doesn't matter. To me, what matters at this point is that she's acknowledging having seen what she was wearing. And how does that relate to time of death? The timeline in this case is going to be crucial. It's crucial in many cases. But in this one, it's important. It's important to Stephen Stearns, but the case against him is much more straightforward. But the case or investigation of JennSoto about what she knew, when she knew it, and what her role or her lack of role is in all of this really relates to what she is saying and what it's based upon. Now, what she's saying now clearly is based upon her own personal information. It's not information that was fed to her by anyone. This is coming from her. She's actually correcting Stephen Stearns about what Madeline was wearing. So, did she see her as she says? We've seen in statements in the reports that have been released that she saw her daughter getting dressed. She saw her leave for school. So it could mean one of two things, because we don't know what happened here and we don't know where it happened. Is it possible that it happened very quickly as he is taking her to school? Would that make any sense? But let's not forget, she said she saw her getting dressed at 8 a.m. and the backpack's being dumped at like 7:35 before that. Remember, keep all this in your mind as you're watching and listening to her. But to me, this is significant. This is not her giving a statement based upon information that Stephen Stearns gave her. This is her independent statement. Black shorts, correcting him about what she was wearing.
Black shorts. All right. Do you know if she has like friends in the area?
She does, but she doesn't know where they live.
She doesn't know where they live. Okay.
I asked all of them.
Okay. Is this like, does she like have any places that you guys know that she'll usually be at? Any friend's house? Any places that like she likes to hang out?
Not typically, no.
No.
Not typically?
No.
Okay. Just give me 1 second. Let me see if I get some.
Okay. See how Stearns is chiming in? Like it's easy to pick him apart. Super easy. Trying to, bringing in his voice like this. Yeah, said I love you. You say you love me. We've heard all that from him in his little tone. But he's like just chirping in little points, little moments, right? But I'll be honest, right now I'm looking at JennSoto. I'm seeing something a little different. She looks kind of worried and nervous to me. Worried and nervous. The swaying and then just the way she's answering, and she had reached out to all the friends in the area. She had gone places where she may have gone. Now, this isn't a 7-year-old, right? This isn't a 7-year-old wandering off. It's a 13-year-old. So you understand that a 13-year-old has a little more ability to go somewhere on their own if they wanted to. But from her, what I'm seeing here is a little different, And right now, I'm giving my honest opinion. Like initially, she's looking a little more like as I would expect a parent to look. Okay, but she's not hysterical. But then we got to look at the time. It's midnight already. Did she have a period where she was really nervous and hysterical and is now calmed down? Has she not had that moment? Is that not in her DNA? But she does appear worried and nervous. Could be worried and nervous for different reasons, right? Different things can motivate that. But that's the vibe I'm getting from her right now. And the fact that she did reach out to all the places, this person's house, that person's house.
No problem. And what school she goes to?
Hunters Creek Middle School.
Hunters Creek Middle? All right, cool. 125.
And she's, much more prominent in providing information than Stearns is.
Do you guys
we already know about Stearns. What we're trying to do is figure out.
Do you have a picture of her? Can you airdrop it to me?
Yeah, I know. Let me see which picture. I don't know which picture.
Anything recently, probably from a birthday party, right?
Yeah, but I wasn't there, so I have to look at what's up.
All right, that's a little worrisome for me. It's taking a little. How many children do you have? You have one? Trying to find the picture. Okay, maybe she takes a lot of pictures of other things. Very possible. Okay, very possible. Let's see how long it takes to find a picture. By the way, Stephen Stearns has a lot of pictures on his phone too, but he's not volunteering those.
Go ahead. That's what I'm about to grab right now.
We also heard from her for the first time there that she was not at the birthday party, right? So he's saying, hey, the birthday party. Well, I wasn't there.
Yeah. All right, cool. Thank you.
Now, when you see
Picture, or do you need a whole body picture?
there we go. All right, she's finding pictures, which is good. I get suspicious of parents that have one child that don't have pictures. So that's good. Now, the blurring of the video for a couple of reasons. One, information on the phone. Two, there's potentially some young children in the background. So Orange County, before they release stuff like this, they will blur out minors usually and personal information. There's another video that's like 45 minutes long that has been heavily redacted.
How do I airdrop? I don't know.
I got you. Okay, where's the photo? Right there.
It's on WhatsApp.
That's fine.
So these videos that they're getting right now, or these images, are the ones that
You saved it to your photos?
We've all been sharing since the beginning of this case. As you can see, they're coming from mom's phone. Stephen Stern's nowhere near any of this, despite the thousands of images he has on his phone.
Okay, perfect. Give me a second. I'm going to send it out right now to my other guys.
Thank you very much.
No problem.
All right, so the first, something else I want to talk about right here. You see all the people in that room. This is her family. It's not his family. It's her family, right? So I am not going to buy her as someone who's trapped with this guy and has nowhere else to look for any help in her life, right? Being a single mother, you need help, you need help, you need help. I'm not buying that here because she's got a support system in place in town, right? Her mother, her sister, you see the people in that room. Those people clearly would step forward and help her in every situation. She doesn't need Stephen Stearns for anything. So the fact that Stephen Stearns is in her life is not out of need, it's out of want. And I hope you're following what I'm trying to explain here. Is I've covered stories with single mothers in desperate situations, get entangled with men. Maybe they're even married to them, or you know, it's a boyfriend. It's someone in their life that they're dependent upon, and you see that dependency, and then when the SA takes place, and all of that conduct is taking place, you sometimes. These mothers feel like they don't have a place to go. They have no help. They're by themselves. That's not her case. She's not by herself. She's got family. She's got family. The same family that's throwing the party for her daughter on her birthday. They are there. They are in town. They're willing and able, obviously, to help. So the fact that she brings Stephen Stearns into her world, into her life, is her choice. It's out of want. It's not out of need. And that's bad. That's bad. So I don't want to hear those arguments at any point of this. If anything is ever, if she's ever charged with anything, of being some sort of excuse or explanation for what her daughter ended up being subjected to as a result of her choices. This was a choice she made. She wanted Stephen Stearns in her life. What's interesting here also is seeing the process, right? Missing child. This is what happens. These days, it's a lot easier to get the word out. You get a digital image, you get it on your phone, and now you're sending it out, and it's going to be blasted everywhere. This is the person they're looking for. Okay. So that's the first video. The first video is relatively short. To me, big part of it is looking at Stephen Stearns and the physical body language, the crossed arms, and the just chiming in little places, but not taking the lead, right? And really, he should be the one in the lead here. He should be like, officer, listen, I was with her. I drove her here, and this is where I went. This is what she was wearing. This is what she was saying. This is what time it was. Can I take you exactly where this happened? Like those aren't the initial thoughts. That's not the initial reaction of him. He's subdued. He's in the background. He's got the arms crossed, like waiting, observing, trying to see. And it's JennSoto who has to take the lead in all of this. I think that's good for JennSoto in terms of how she looks in this scenario. Looks obviously a lot better than he does. You're going to take a look at some of your comments. I think the comments starting to file in here a little bit. Big thank you to Tracy. Tracy is watching. Thank you, Tracy. Appreciate it. Who else is with us tonight or today? Don't forget tonight, 8 o'clock Eastern time on my show. Of course, we'll be covering that. Yes. PJ Vision, nice to meet you as well at CrimeCon. I'm telling you, ran into a lot of great folks at CrimeCon. If you have not been, you need to go. If you have not been, you need to go. I think the next one's out in Denver next year. Melly, the way she looks at the officer caught my eye. There's something. Yeah, there is the initial like. Let's go back to that moment. You want to go back to that moment when the officer first comes in. Let's take a look at that one more time. I thought that was interesting too. I didn't like that. I didn't like that.
Thank you so much.
Of course.
She is on the
Do
phone
they
at the
speak
moment.
English?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
This is mom.
This is mom? Okay.
Hey there.
Hi there.
Stay there. I gotta go. Cops are here. Hey there.
Hey there. What's going on?
So my daughter was dropped off close to school this morning, but never made it. I went to pick her up from school.
I'm sorry, one second.
Yeah.
Okay, she just have a little weird thing here where she's not looking. When she's saying she's not looking directly at the officer, she's looking away. We saw that in the TV interview as well. Obviously, tonight on my show, we'll find out what all that means. But then she does finally look at him.
Morning, but never made it. I went to pick her up from school.
And then she looks at him. Right now, she's looking at him. Before, she was not looking at him. So I'm with you, Melly, the way she looks at the officer and doesn't look at the officer. She's telling the story. She's looking off like she's got to remember it. And it could be one of two things, right? Because one of the reasons she has to remember it, because it's not her story. This is the story that's being fed to her by Stephen Stearns. Why doesn't he step in right here and tell the story? Why doesn't he take the lead? She's telling his story. And she's got to remember it. It's over here. Let me remember it. He told me it, and let me give it to you. He's like, I want no part of this. This is interesting. DM, mom is medicated, in my opinion. Even at this moment, you think? Well, at this point, I mean, she could have been at this moment, but maybe in general. I'm not sure. Obviously, I'm not sure. We haven't heard about that, but thank you, DM. The docket. She lightweight snaps at him about not having pics from the birthday. Oh, did she snap at that moment? Let's go back to that moment. Let's see.
Is this like, did she like have any places that you guys know that she'll be usually
take a look.
at? Any friends?
I want to see if she
house,
really
any
snaps.
places that like she likes to hang out?
Not typically, no.
No.
Not typically.
No.
Okay. Just give me 1 second. Let me see if I get some.
Thank you.
No problem. And what school she goes to?
Hunters Creek Middle School.
Hunters Creek Middle. All right, cool. 125.
I think this is where he goes back in, right? He goes back in to get the picture. Oh, yeah, I forgot. Give me the picture.
Do you guys have?
This is it.
Do you have a picture of her? Can you airdrop it to me?
Yeah, I know. Let me see which picture. I don't know which picture.
Anything recently, probably from the birthday party, right?
Yeah, but I wasn't there, so I have to look at.
All right. Lightweight snap. It's a lightweight snap. Thank you, docket. And 1, 2, 3, Rockchild. I saw this on Gray U's channel last night. Fantastic. Awesome. Gray U's on top of it always. Make sure you watch his videos as well. Thank you, Rockchild. All right. One moment. I'm just trying to see if there's another. Who do we have here? Let's see. Lies. Okay. We know this is Nicole K. We know it didn't happen at 8 a.m. because of the footage. Either way, she's lying. That's to me still the biggest problem with everything is the 8 o'clock because it makes no sense. It just makes no sense. It doesn't fit into the timeline. Can we talk about how confident SS is in his lie? Right? I mean, he knew though. You know, you're going to need a story, and the question is, how much ahead of time did he figure this out? So from my perspective, his story is developing that day as he is pretending to drop her off at school. That's part of developing the story. He's trying to develop the story and to go through the motions to sort of verify that story. So he drove to the school, never dropped her off, but drove to the school with her in the car. And he's doing that to set up the story that he clearly had planned prior to getting in the car and drive. So the story is developed before 7 in the morning. So here it's like after midnight, plenty of time to develop the story, because now it's after midnight the next day. So he's had all day long to refine and prepare for this moment when he knows he's going to have to tell his story. Michelle L. is with us. Mom was focused on getting the details of her story right. Madeline was never seen alive in the car, so she was killed in the house while Mom was at home. Right. So that's exactly what I was getting at. This is her problem, her 8 o'clock problem. And now we know that she is the one saying wearing black shorts. That's her. That's not her repeating what Stefan told her. That's coming from her. So that's either a lie straight from her, or something is off in her timeline or recollection of the timeline, right? Because, I mean, it's still possible. It's still possible that it takes place in the car, like going to work, immediately get in the car, boom, it happens, gets rid of the backpack, boom, he drives. And she didn't know. But her whole timeline would be off by like an hour. Like, I don't know. Is that possible? Were we, she said 8. She said 8, right? She said 8. And it would have to have been 7. So how do you get that wrong? I don't know how you get that wrong. All right. Karini Cole, everyone else showing his videos, they are not blurred. Well, yeah, parts are blurred, parts aren't blurred. The Orange County Sheriff's Office blurs parts that they do not want the public to see when they make the public release of the videos. So parts are blurred, parts aren't blurred. Like this part you're looking at right here, not blurred, but other parts are. When there are juveniles in the video, generally speaking, most sheriff's offices, most police departments will blur that video, or if there is personal information like an address, a phone number, a license plate, something on the screen. So that's why there's usually a delay in the release of many body camera videos. But thank you, Kareen, for asking. Jesse Moore, Vinny, you got to get Dave Clean on regarding Cullinane on the KR case. Karen Reed, thank you, Jesse. Dave Cullinane, we're working on it. We're working on everything. Got a lot of things going on here. This is interesting. Truth in time. I don't think she knew. Interesting. I think she looks much better in this video that we've seen so far than she did in the TV interviews. Jen's father paid her rent, I'm sure. Been sure. Gen X, please try to censor some of the too sensitive words so the stream can be promoted. Thanks, everyone. Yeah, let's. You know the magic words we can't talk about. All right, let's see. Frankie Figs with us. Thank you for the super chat, Jesse Moore. And thank you, Frankie Figs, for all your work. All right. There you go. Daisy Boo. Wow. I only have a dog. My phone is filled with pictures. Thousands. Would have millions of a child. It would take me 3 seconds to find a new photo. Yeah, I get it. But here you don't know, is she one of these people that takes lots of pictures of lots of things and you just got to find it. Like for me to find pictures. Also, a lot of my pictures are in text messages that are sent to me. Sometimes I haven't downloaded them yet, right? So I'll just look at them on text messages that people send. So maybe that's what she was doing because she wasn't at the actual party. So she was looking at a text message from the party. I'm not sure. Okay, here we go. Vin, it's 8:45. Thank you, Rick. I was trying to read the time on this. Where's the 8:45? 2, but it says 2:27. 2:27 is the date. And then I see 00:38. And watch how it ticks. Right? So 00:38 would be 00 hours, which is midnight, 38 minutes. But I'm with you, Rick. I thought all this was happening at 8:45. So I don't know if I'm reading the times wrong here or what. But thank you, Rick. Originally, that's when I thought that they all had responded there. Here's a great question from Melissa. Let me put on my prosecutor's hat for this one. Legal question. Prosecutor hat. Could SS get a plea deal if he implicates Jen? Likely not. Likely not. I think from the eyes of the prosecution in this case, and I was a prosecutor, didn't wear this hat when I was a prosecutor, but I'm putting it on now. He's the main actor. He's the one committing all the SA, right? So he is the target. He is the main target. Her role in any of this would be something less than what he has been implicated for. I would say it would be more likely that a deal for her to testify against him. I could not see it the other way around. And it's not one that I would make because I would be seeking the ultimate penalty against this guy. This guy needs to go. Needs to go. If that's the law in the state, and it is in Florida, they do provide for the ultimate penalty. This is the guy who needs to get it. But thank you, Melissa. Thank you very much. It's a good conversation. Great, great insight taking place here. As always, Glenda is with us. She knew, and she kept his secret. Okay. What did she know about, though? Did she know about the original charges, the SA, or the big M? Did she know about the M? Right? That I'm not sure. And maybe she knew about one but didn't know about the other, but would suspect one. But you would think if your child was missing at that moment, you would absolutely a little noise in the background. You would absolutely out of the box tell investigators about it. So she's that, and again, that's a problem. Remember, she's sending her to his bed or to bed with him, which is a whole, I mean, we've talked about that, and that's, unforgivable. I'm just trying to figure out here if at the moment she knows what happened and where she is and that Madeline is no longer around. Where's the urgency of a missing child? It's like she's reporting some missing property, not her girl. The homeroom is eerily calm. That's a great observation. Let me ask you this. Do we think, is it possible that if a grandmother or an aunt knew about this conduct occurring, that they would remain quiet? Again, I can't imagine it as a parent, but could more than one generation, like one person, okay, one person who is what she is, right? But is it possible like the whole family knew what Madeline was going through and was saying nothing? I could not imagine that. In a million years, I couldn't imagine that. Obviously, anything's possible. But you mentioned the whole room, and that, like, and I think it gets back to the point of what time is this video? I mean, it looks like it's after midnight from the timestamp, but 8:45 would not shock me either, because that was the original reporting that we were hearing. And here we go. It's approximately 7:49 p.m. Again, can someone tell me where they're seeing that on the... All right, now I've got a second one. What time is this one saying? I think these are off. All right, I've got a second body cam here, and I'm looking at the timestamp here, and that timestamp is off too.
Okay, per aim, there could be possibly building 5856.
Because that's got 0204. 2:04 in the morning? That doesn't make sense to me. Although it could be, because this is, I think this is the search later. What you're looking at now.
It was along this stretch, I can't remember the exact spot, but it was around where these communities were. Oh, thank you. So it's like around where these communities were.
Okay.
And it's just like in this stretch, like we could see the overpass down there.
Where's the school?
Just on the other side of the overpass.
So this is Stephen Stearns bringing the officers back to where he says he dropped her off, which is near that church, right? And that there's the church, then there's an overpass with the highway, and then the school's on the other side. So let's see what he does here.
So somewhere around here.
So yeah, somewhere, maybe not this one, but the next one possibly. It's right in this stretch. When we just came down and we drove about halfway down, she was like, "That's good right here."
Okay.
On the second floor.
All right. So now we'll keep it rolling, but now the officers are searching the area that Stearns directs them to, right? I always look ahead. When I'm analyzing a case, I'm a former prosecutor, I'm always looking ahead. This is the defense case right here. This is the defense case. This is where I dropped her off. This is where she went. These are all the potential places that she could have run into trouble, all the places that she could have been abducted by someone else. Now, there's another part of this where, if you recall the story involving the surveillance video, one of the deputies goes to the office at the church, takes a look at the surveillance video, and that morning there was a child, a girl, somewhere in that parking lot area of the church, and was on camera for like 10 minutes. And when they were talking about it afterwards, when JennSoto was talking about it later, is because this officer apparently had told her that he saw the video. She didn't see it. He did. He said it was blurry. So it wasn't clear if it was her, but who was it? Like, where did that all come from? Who was that child that was there? But I'll tell you, that will be the centerpiece of his defense at trial. That's the centerpiece. I could tell you already. That's where they're going with this. And we'll add to it this little search, this area. And they're going to say it was some other dude.
There's no further information on this.
All right, Tracy asking, do you think Jen will eventually be charged? Neglect. Well, she could be. She could be. Already. I think that's something that you have to mull over, depending upon what the other evidence that has not been released tells you about the case. Remember, we're just getting pieces here. We're not getting the whole thing. I'm not getting everything yet. There was more than 1,000 pages that was delivered to the defense. But here they are retracing steps. And there's another video where they bring out the dogs, the canines. So it's clear that Orange County is doing everything possible based upon the words and the stories of Jen and Stefan.
they took a 10-8 north of the complex, 2108.
And we got Brown Sugar. Hey, Vinny. Hope you're having a fantastic day. I am. Fantastic day. Getting ready for a big show tonight on Court TV, 8 o'clock. We'll be looking at these videos, little body language. We're bringing on investigators and more analysis of everything that is happening in this case, including live journalists down in Orlando who are connected to everyone in the case. Okay, Laura Wagner. Definitely didn't know of the M,
No.
but ignored the SA signs. Definitely, yeah, absolutely ignored those because those, I mean, are obvious to us, should be obvious to everyone, anyone and everyone. Served up on a silver platter.
No.
But I think at this point, that's not the issue at this point of the investigation. This point of the investigation is finding a missing child. The question is, based upon the way she's acting, what she's saying, does it appear that she knows already and is just sort of play acting along that helped me find my child? Or does she actually know what has happened? Whether she found out after the fact or knew before the fact or during the fact. OG, Sean White, body cam wrong. Cop's phone showed 1945 time. Thank you, OG. It makes more sense. These things, they shouldn't be miscalibrated. Like body cam should have the right time all the time, right? Because it's always evidence in a case, and it's significant evidence a lot of times. Thank you, Joanne, as well. On it. I knew there had to be something else. I was skeptical of the body cam video because it didn't match what we'd been told earlier. Muddy pause. I think the family members are quiet because they sense something is off. It may be UTC time. Thank you. Yeah, it could be UTC time. That makes sense. You don't have it on local time. You have it on UTC time.
26 standby.
Thank you, Muddy pause. I like that. Family members are quiet because they sense something is off, right? And he's in the room. When he's not in the room, do they act differently? Do they say anything differently? Right? If you felt there was something wrong or off about him, would you say it? If you're a grandmother or an aunt, you would. Oh, yeah, you would.
No cameras as of right now.
You absolutely would.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if we can find something.
So you can see they're looking.
Yeah.
Daisy Boo, I told my aunt and mom they stuck by him, not me. Wow. Sorry, Daisy Boo. Wow. Everything is possible. Okay, LFT decipher. Why aren't more details about JennSoto timeline, whereabouts, Sunday money being shared? Is a legal reason for that? Seems odd. There could be more in the discovery that hasn't been shared. She may have stopped talking once Stephen Stearns was arrested. She may have just stopped talking. If she has counsel, she may have stopped communicating, so that they may not even know more about her timeline. They may have to put it together through other means and other evidence, like cell phone surveillance, etc. It depends upon her level of cooperation. And her answers are very vague. Like they've been very vague from the beginning, which again is troublesome. Very troublesome. June. Hi, Vinny. Hello, June. This is your month, June. All month long, we celebrate June to June. Thank you, June. Allie B from Tennessee. I just Googled, and the Z by the seconds and the N means it is Zulu time, whatever that is. Excellent. Thank you, Allie B. Every department does it differently. Every department does it differently. Good old Zulu time. Thank you, Ali B. Sherry Mathis, appreciate it, Sherry. Great to see you. Thank you so much. All right. Michelle L is back. Maybe SS relationship with Madeline was why they broke up so often. Maybe he promised he would stop, so she took him back. I don't think the family knew. I mean, if that family knew, if that grandmother knew, because basically once you have a grandchild, the pecking order of everyone, grandchild goes first now. They move above the children. Those of you grandparents, you know what I'm talking about, right? You know what I'm talking about. The pecking order changes. Man, I can't imagine that family knowing and being able to continue that. One Love Child, the behavior panel should look at this. I'm sure they will. I'm sure they will. They were at CrimeCon too. Greg Hartley. Hartley was on my show years ago. I think it was one of his first TV appearances years and years and years ago on Court TV. And I think they're with Dr. Phil on his new network. I'm sure they'll be taking a look at it. And we're going to take a look at it tonight. Got my own body language coming in tonight, 8 o'clock on Court TV. So check it out. Tia Dash, decipher. Time is incorrect, but correct on cop's phone and reports display is not right. Adore you, sir. Thank you, Tia Dash. Thank you. NG. Very possible Maddie's in heaven as law enforcement arrives. Maybe why meeting at grandma's business office. Well, grandma's business office is close to the school and I guess close to the church parking lot, which is close to the school. So I think that was sort of the epicenter of where the search was, because the search was based upon the words of Stephen Stearns and JennSoto using the words of Stephen Stearns about what happened that morning and where she was dropped off. So that'd be an obvious place to be, is in that area, because that would be the last known area, even though it's not. But for law enforcement and for Stephen Stearns telling his story, this is the last known area. So I think that's why that's where they are. And yes, it does also keep law enforcement away from the home, but it's part of the story that was crafted, because the story is crafted before he leaves the home, because he's going to do that ride. I'm dropping her off at school. All right. Yeah. You can check my car. I drove there. He didn't bring his phone with him. But yeah, my car. I drove to school. Maybe some cameras saw my car drive. Oh, that's right. There's cameras coming in and out of the complex. You can see me and her leaving for school. That was going to be the story. There's no doubt that was going to be the story, and it's still going to be the story at trial. So it's going to be up to prosecutors to disprove all of that. Thank you, Dina. Dina Dara. Grazie. Trish Richardson. You have a duty as a mother, and in my opinion, stupidity is not a defense when you send her to sleep with her boyfriend. Absolutely. And by the way, she admits all this? Like, the fact that she admits this, is that in her mind, is there not something terribly wrong with this? Like, in her mind, is this like okay? And why is she saying that? She's saying that 'cause she's that naive and stupid? Is that possible? Because she did say it. Like, she's not hiding it from anyone. She's admitting to doing it. Unreal. Unreal. Does that give us insight to her level of mental awareness? It's wow. Every time you think about it, you know, this story is always going to come back to that. It's always going to come back to that. Mindy, the body cam footage is in Zulu or UTC time. Subtract 5 hours for Florida's time zone to get the correct time. Thank you, Mindy. Mindy, our timekeeper at the bell. Grazie, grazie, grazie. June is back. May Jen's defense use drugs she was taking? Not going to help you. But now, again, she hasn't been charged with anything. She hasn't been named as a suspect in anything. So right now, she needs no defense to anything. Right? You know, the court of public opinion, she's done. Like, you know, she is in part to blame here for introducing this man into her daughter's world and then sending her daughter off with this man to be alone. That's on her. She has to live with that. The question is any of that going to add up to actual charges? We haven't gotten there yet. Happy Gnosis. Look at this. My mother still won't acknowledge the abuse I tolerated 45 years on. Wow. I'm so sorry, Happy Gnosis, but giving us a reality check here on how some moms are not mothers first. That's a problem. How do we not believe our children? How do we not believe our children? Especially when talking about something like that. All right, one of the other videos shows the sister open up when she gets a cop alone. Excellent. Excellent, Muddy Paws. Yeah, so when Stephen Stearns is out of the picture, it's a different picture when Stearns is out of the picture. Let's take a look at, I've got another video here. Let's take a look at this one.
What did you say?
Take off time for this one as well. Before I got to run for the show tonight.
Why is this not a code 3 when it first came out?
Do we know if Maddie told her friends about Stephen Stearns? The only thing we know is that she told a friend she was going to live in the woods when she hit 13.
That last time she was seen, it was early this morning, like 7 o'clock. That's what I'm about to see. I'm about to go check. I just try to get as much information now of her clothing description, send it to Diaz, because Diaz has a hit in like a big area full of kids. So if you want to help me out with this one, give me my signal expert.
All right, this is a second video. It's a little bit later, I believe. A few minutes later after the first one.
By any chance, does she have a phone number or a phone?
She does, but she left it at home today. I have it.
You have it.
And I've already gone through her messages.
Okay. How about, does she have like an Apple Watch? No.
She's got a device. The only device she's got on her right now is her school laptop.
Her school laptop? Is that trackable?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
It should be. It should be.
If the Wi-Fi's turned on, it'll try to connect to any Wi-Fi.
So if I like circle here. To connect to any USB position.
Well, does she know have a history of running away or anything like that? She's hanging out and lost time kind of?
Possibly, I don't know. She got dropped off. She was like, so she's embarrassed by his car. So she didn't want to be dropped off at school. She wanted to be dropped off like half a block away so she can walk.
It's an image thing, she's in a phase.
But he dropped her off half a block away and drove away.
Okay. Did she ever go to school though?
No, we called
She
school.
was walking in that direction. She was rifling through her backpack, just looking for something. I thought maybe she was just looking for headphones before she got her walking on.
Yeah.
But she was just kind of, she
See, the rifling through the backpack, he keeps going back to that. You know, the backpack is in the dumpster.
went over in that direction. It looked the same as any other morning.
Okay.
What was the last thing you asked?
If she went to school, I think that's what it was.
So I got confirmation from the school that she never made it. They sent me an email saying she didn't make it. But I also spoke to her or emailed one of her teachers directly, and he looked at all her attendance for all her periods and told me she'd make it at all today.
Okay.
Say it again. No, she's supposed to have a book bag. She was supposed to go to school, but didn't go to school today.
Good.
See, at this point, they could think it's a runaway, right? A teenage runaway.
Oh, okay. All right.
Battery FGOA 212319 Turtleback Blue.
Daisy Boo, I think the break from Stephen Stearns was enough for Maddie to say, stop. I'm too old now. And that was the straw that broke SS.
I'm trying to figure out secondary spots, but so far, negative on anything. Yeah, you could be 51 to me. All right, cool. 34 too. All right, cool.
Attention Sector 4 units, prepare to copy a local from OPD at Florence.
Yeah, it said negative on that hit at the park.
Way,
So.
reference A21 to a vehicle. Pursuing local, reference A21 to a vehicle.
I think
Going
black
to be
shorts.
an unknown male, gray hoodie,
Also
black
black
pants,
shorts
black
and
ski mask,
white
black
Crocs with
gloves.
socks.
No further information. 1064, 1946.
And when was the last time you seen her? Do you know around what time?
Around 8:30, 8:40 when we dropped her off.
How tall is she?
5'1",
Weight?
110 pounds,
About 110, 112.
Hair color?
blonde.
Blonde, like a dirty blonde.
Like a dirty blonde?
Yeah.
Okay. Eye color?
Blue.
Does she have
She's swaying, always swaying.
any markings on her, like any scars or anything
Has
like that
a distinctive beauty mark on her face
on her
here.
face?
On the face, like below the nose or near the nose?
Yeah, like right in that area there. It's very distinctive. You'd know it if you saw it. Big.
Any other scars or anything like that? We should know.
Scars?
No.
Tattoo.
Tattoos. No.
You'd be surprised.
All right, why are we laughing?
Did you put out the description?
I put the top part out. I didn't get the rest of that stuff here, so I can put it out.
Okay, we had a funny moment there. I don't like that. Especially Stephen Stearns laughing, knowing what we know.
White female.
Can I just see that phone?
Black shorts, white Crocs with socks, approximately 5'1", blonde, dirty blonde hair, blue eyes, has a beauty mark under the nose.
Look at Stephen Stearns. Look at this guy. I'm going to go back to that little laughing.
No.
You'd be surprised. Did you put out the description?
I put the top part out. I didn't get the rest of that stuff here, so I can put it out.
Got me 34 here.
CBC, so glad you mentioned family. You know her family inserted advice on Maddie, Stephen. She let the devil in. Come on, Mom. No go zone.
White Crocs with socks, approximately 5'1".
No, it's, you know.
Dirty blonde hair, blue eyes, has a beauty mark under the nose.
Whether there's criminal responsibility eventually or not, there's the responsibility of a parent. It's inexplicable on that level. But looking to charge her with something right now, I mean, what we're seeing here, we don't have it. And I don't know if she stopped talking or not. did she officially cut off communications at any point here? Claudia, I just can't believe the lack of reaction from mom. Sus as heck. This mother. Justice for Maddie, RIP baby girl. Thank you, Claudia. The emotion of this now, I thought I forgot who made the comment, but someone commented about the whole room, like the temperature of the whole room was eerily calm. Like, did they think that she would have run away? That she was going somewhere? Right? Why is the temperature of everyone kind of there? There's no desperation or hysteria. Now it's 8 o'clock at night, right? It's 8, 7, 8, 9 o'clock at night. She's been gone for 12 hours. For 12 hours at this point. Without her phone, without a trace. Would you be a little more desperate? Like, you call police, you give them the information, but what else do you do? Like, is Stefan Stearns even looking for her? Now, we all look at this and we presume his guilt at this point, right? Based upon the allegations. But, at trial, that presumption goes in the other direction, and it should go in the other direction. So I think every little action or lack of action speaks volumes and can speak to the jury about what really happened here. And I don't see that level of desperation in finding a girl. Now, I've never had a teenager missing from my house, right? We're not talking about a 6, 7, 8-year-old here. We're talking about a teenager. Where is in your mind, are you thinking that she went on her own and is hiding somewhere from you so that the level of danger isn't so high? Is that what you're thinking? So that gives you a sense of calm and hope, as opposed to when a really young child goes missing. And I had that moment. It didn't last long, but it was at a picnic. And the panic and the desperation was instantaneous, and it was real. And I was screaming at the top of my lungs to get everyone's attention at this. It was like a little picnic kind of situation. There were probably 150 people there. But it was quick and it was instantaneous, and I was loud, and it was an out-of-body experience. And it was very, very quick. And he was back within moments. He had one of those kids that wanders off, and he wandered off around the corner towards the tennis courts, away from everyone else. Like, he was right behind me. I was talking to someone, then he wasn't there. Like that quickly. But you're in a group with people, so you're like, oh, wow. Right? And for me, but he was young. He was young. She's 13. Is it different when it's a 13-year-old? I wouldn't think so, but I'm always trying to look on both sides of everything if I can, to try to understand this reaction to this situation, because I know it will be part of what the jury will consider. Jennifer Jerry, thank you. We got our SD girl. Vinny, when the cop went to meet SS to show him where he left her at the church, the cop handed SS his cell phone back to him. Did you see that? Interesting. Well, you can't seize it at that moment. You can ask for it. You can ask for it at any time. And if they don't give it to you, you can then go get a warrant to get it. But you cannot just seize it, because if you just seize it and then attempt to use any evidence you find on it, that's an illegal search and seizure, and that evidence will be suppressed at trial, inadmissible. But interesting. I got to look back on that. Thank you, SD girl. I wonder if he got a little nervous when he handed over his phone. And we've got Tony Wagner. And the thing is, if Jen Soto says she didn't know, that's just as bad in my opinion. And the night terrors, that's what they're going to try to use as defense. And again, defense of Jen. Jen hasn't been charged yet with anything, may never be charged, hasn't been named as a suspect. I mean, everything that we're looking at now is trying to understand her state of mind at the time. And the things that don't play well right now is the lack of desperation for action. Like, find my child. Let's look. What are we doing here? Can we go out and look? Like, can we go out in the car? And I know they may have been looking earlier in the night, but can we get out there and look? How could you ever stop looking? Especially like the day of. I think there are people that are searching years later. They're still searching. This is the day of. Brown Sugar, Vinny, what in your opinion would be a just punishment for Stefan if found guilty on all charges? Well, it's the state of Florida. The state of Florida carries with it the ultimate punishment. And based upon all of the allegations and all the conduct over all the years and the way everything ended, I believe the ultimate punishment, he certainly fits in the column of the worst of the worst. That would be just in the state of Florida. It's whatever the maximum punishment is in that state, and the maximum punishment in Florida is the ultimate punishment. So he goes on to onto the row. But not so easy these days in Florida. The jurors in Florida have pulled back from sentencing people to the ultimate punishment, which is really surprising. There's been a move, in the last 5 years of covering cases down there. Like nobody gets the ultimate punishment anymore. It's rare. One guy who hired his friend to take care of his wife, he got it. And we got Mary Beth, who's sitting in traffic right now in New Jersey, Route 22 in Union. What is that, like exit 142 off the Parkway, maybe? Thank you, Mary Beth. It's nice. People can listen. They don't have to watch. They can just listen to us when they're in traffic. We're going to have a ton more. We got over 4,000, by the way, this afternoon, just popping on here with this. Let's continue to watch more of this.
I'm getting a random 407 number. Okay. Hello? Yes? Hi, Principal. I'm okay. How are you? No, currently police officers here right now.
Start getting the
Yeah, I'm trying to see if I can find her
paperwork.
anything.
Does she have any social media or anything like that?
She has Instagram.
Right here.
OBT
on her phone.
Private. It is private, yeah. Just family,
Thank
cousins,
you so much. I
friends.
definitely appreciate it.
Right here.
That's her profile?
Yeah.
Little figure.
She also has a YouTube page.
Okay. Any Snapchat or
No, she plays games.
No, that's the daughter.
She plays games. She plays like Minecraft.
All right. Buon pomeriggio. Good afternoon, Trisha Rollman. Thank you, Trisha. Or should I say grazie. JC, big sigh as in, phew, thought I would get caught. Exactly. Okay. Why does she answer hi, Principal? Letting Stefan Stern know who's calling. I don't know. I think that's her. I think there's a simplicity to JennSoto. I don't think she's a very complex person. She's living an adult life. I'm not saying she's, has some sort of mental deficiency. I just think she's very simple in her life. I can't get a final read on her because this video, at least the first one, for me, I felt a little more genuineness coming from her than the sit-down interview. I just call it the way I see it, and the vibe that I got from her. But again, as we sit here today, she hasn't been charged with anything. She hasn't been named a suspect in anything, and the investigation's not over. We haven't heard that the investigation's over, but things are moving forward with Stephen Stearns. Now, there's no statute of limitations on these other cases, and like we've seen, like with the Adelsons, another case in Florida in Tallahassee, like one person at a time was charged through the years. So maybe that's what's going on here. I don't know, but what you would really need to connect her to the case is some concrete communication of knowledge coming in the form of a text message, a phone message, a note, a video, some sort of piece of evidence that is relatively irrefutable in an acknowledgement of what happened to Maddie by her mother. And I don't know if that exists. You don't have enough from what's been released to make that connection right now, despite what you think, despite the way she acted, what she did, what she said. Okay, it's just not happening. I want to say hi, Trey, Vinny. It's great to see you at CrimeCon this past weekend. You're a true rock star. I think JS knew all along what was being done to that sweet child. Thank you, Trey. Great to see you as well. Yeah. So, what charges do you bring there? But you have to be able to prove the knowledge, right? Like our gut tells us, our intuition tells us. But inside a courtroom where I've been as a prosecutor, you need more. I mean, at this point, you're not even going to get past the judge to get it to a jury. You need something to make it stick, that connection. And it can't be simply, hey, come on, she knew, come on. How could she not know? She was sending them there. She admitted she sent them there. But you have to have evidence that if she was sending him to be with him, she knew what was going to happen, and she knew what was happening. It could be a message from Maddie to Jen. That could be the one that it doesn't have to be between Stefan and Jen. It could be between Maddie and Jen if there's some evidence there, or if one of her surviving family members comes forward and says, "Oh yeah, she told us about that, or she knew about that, or she suspected that." Her sister, her mother, somebody. That's where it's got to come from. You need something else because she has not taken her admission of conduct that far. A big girl for life. My sympathies to Al for the loss of his mom. Now, a big girl for life. Unless something happened today that I don't know about. Last night on the show, Al was on the TV show last night. This was Mom's 88th birthday this week. So it's more of a happy birthday. Unless something happened in between that I don't know of. But thank you, big girl, for caring. Okay, Sarah is down in Orlando. Law enforcement has now learned the story she and Stefan gave was fabricated, but no further info was given. Well, it's definitely fabricated. Was she knowingly fabricating it, or was she just parroting in the moment what Stefan was telling her? Or did she know? Again, it gets back to what she knows. Does she know what she is saying is false? Now, I think it's you have an ability to, through circumstantial evidence, prove that she knew the statement she made about her getting dressed for school at 8 a.m. was false based upon the other parts of the timeline that have come together. Law enforcement has now learned the story she and Stefan gave was fabricated. So if this is true, like let's take this. And thank you, Sarah. And I'm going to have a reporter from Orlando on time, so we're going to get on this. If she is fabricating it, knowing that she's not really missing, right? That she's not missing. She wasn't dropped off at school, and she knowingly is doing that. One more question. Is it before the fact or after the fact? Is it a cover-up after the fact, or is it part of everything? And she knew before the fact what was going to happen. Was she a part of it? Did she know about it? Or is she just after the fact? Both cases, charges, absolutely. Much different charges if it's before the fact. But thank you, Sarah. Let's go. You got to listen to Melly. We got to smash the likes. I got 4,000 total, because we simulcast Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and X. But obviously the bulk of our viewers are on YouTube watching the lives. Some nice words from Patty Franklin. Vinny is the perfect interviewer. He gets people with diverse opinions and let them loose. He reins them in when he has to. He deserves an end. Thank you, Pat. And the reason I put this up was not because because Patty was saying something nice about me, and I wanted to see Patty's face on the screen. But also, so people who haven't watched my show understand my show. Guests that I have on my show, I don't tell them what to say. I've been invited and been on lots of other people's shows, and there have been some shows, some big shows, where a producer is telling me, "All right, this is what you're going to say," and I'm like, "No, I'm going to say what I believe. I'm not going to say what you're telling me to say." And I say, "That's fine. If you need someone to say that, please get someone else. But I can only say what I'm going to say. I'll tell you now what I think about the story we're covering." But I'm not going to take a side that I don't believe in just to be on TV. No, I don't do that. So the way I run my show, having had that experience with more than one show and network, is my guests, they come on, they say whatever they believe, period, end of story. And I want to hear from as many sides as possible. And I do. And sometimes people go, "Oh, how could you have that person on?" Well, they have a different side to this story. And by the nature of what I cover, there's always two sides to a story. Always two sides. That's why we talk to defense attorneys. We'll talk to prosecutors. It's more rare that we talk to prosecutors because ethically they're more constrained from speaking publicly about cases beforehand. But I get all opinions, and I don't tell people what to say, what to think. I just want to hear what you have to say. I try to bring on people that have some level of expertise, experience, or connection to the stories that we're covering. So thank you, Patty. And that's what we do tonight, 8:00. Steph, 284. Is she autistic and stemming like Maddie? Could be that's why he chose or preyed upon Jen. Easy to manipulate and psychologically abuse. Cognitive deficit. I don't think she's super bright, right? She's not like, and I don't mean it in a mean way. I mean it in a way like awareness. Like it's really about awareness of like the world and people and things and danger. I don't see that in her. I haven't heard that from her. the question is why? Why is she that way? Is she that way because she knows she's guilty and she is sort of protecting Stephen Stearns for whatever reason? Or is it that she is literally has that level of being naive to the ways of the world? And is it because of some condition that she has? Thank you, Steph284. I think those are still unanswered questions right now. Here's a question. What does Jen do for employment? She is employed. She was working that night, apparently connected to travel. She helps, I don't know if it's a travel agent or a travel service, something that is somehow connected, I believe, to Disney, but maybe not working for Disney itself, but for one of the subcontractors that set up trips to Disney, etc. Let's see. Who else is pumping in? All right, we got Claudia. JS oozes guilt and deceptiveness. She needs to be in jail. Gotcha, Claudia. A lot of people with you on that. So, and I don't have a great feeling. I don't have a great feeling about her and all this because she didn't protect that child. But now, as a prosecutor, I'm looking for the evidence. I'm looking for the evidence. Oh, folks, look at this. Those of you know I'm type 1 diabetic. I just got a little alert. Can you see that? Blood sugar's dipping low down to 62. I'm going to need a little something in a second. But thank you so much. Lucky shot. I respect journalists who allow others' opinions. Yeah, I mean, if you watch television these days, cable TV and the news organizations that are really just politics, right? Covering the horse race. They don't cover like how to make things better for America. They talk about how one side can win or the other side can win. And a lot of them are very one-sided, very one-sided. And to me, if you're covering our system of justice, there's always two sides going at it. And sometimes the truth might be somewhere in the middle and not on either extreme. Lisa Ainsley with a super sticker. Thank you, Lisa. Appreciate it. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Oh, where was this other one? I saw one other one. Where did I want to put this? Oh, here we go. Dawn Caruso, my paisan, we love you, Vinny. You are for real. Exit 148, Bloomfield here. JennSoto seems off. Yeah, I agree, Dawn. I agree. I think everyone agrees there's something wrong with her, but she knows like right from wrong, right? She definitely knows right from wrong. She knows you call 911. She knows you call the principal, but she calls him Mr. Principal. Or is that what she said? Did she say Mr. Principal? Okay, these are the rumors. Aladia Lopez. Any news if Maddie had a head injury? By the way, love your show, Vinny. Those are the rumors that we've heard. Nothing confirmed because the medical examiner's report has not been made public because of a special law down in Florida to protect victims of DV. Child victims of DV. We've heard it's blunt force. But until I see the report or hear testimony in a courtroom, I'm not sure. But that's what we've heard. And that would likely be connected to a head injury. Could it have happened in the car? Absolutely could have happened in the car. Could happen way before the car, too. We just don't know. All right. It's that time. Two things I got to do. One, I've got to get some glucose because my blood sugar is below where it should be, right? So I have to do that. Number two, I've got to get ready for my show. So over 4,000 today. Amazing job. Absolutely amazing job by everyone watching. Very much appreciated that everyone's in on this today. Make sure you watch tonight at 8 o'clock. Tonight at 8 o'clock. Where are we going? Where am I? 8 o'clock on Court TV, your front row seat to justice. 8 to 10, we'll be doing this. I've got some big news coming out of the Alec Baldwin case. That case is coming in July. That trial's happening right now in July. And we've also got Karen Reed news as well for all the folks following that great trial on Court TV as well. We're going to take a look at the big evidence in Karen Reed. I've got big news in what's happening in the Alec Baldwin case. And of course, we're going to spend a lot of time looking at these videos, getting the latest from our folks in Orlando, and we're going to bring in our body language experts. So we got all that coming up on Court TV. Thank you to the Vinny's Angels, the Mod Squad, Melly, Frankie Figs, Gen X, and everyone else who was watching. One more time, hit the like. Please subscribe, follow on Facebook, and share the video. And whatever you Twitchers do, keep on doing it. And thank you, X, for watching. Well, I will see you next time. Have a great day. Please don't forget to hug the kids.